Open Season 2 has Elliot get cold feet marrying Giselle, and then the group goes on an adventure to save Mr. Weenie. So the positives on this movie are just hanging out with Boog and Elliot and the group is really fun, once again. The antics they get into, that's fairly entertaining. They go to a water park, that's pretty cool. Just hanging out with them, entertaining. Fifi is actually a wild and unhinged villain. He is crazy. He's a dog, just like Mr. Weenie, and he has this group of dogs that they're going to a dog water park, and he is just insane, and it's just highly entertaining because he has beef with wild animals. When the only wild animal he came across was like a ladybug and a bunny, and his whole backstory is actually kind of funny, because he lost his squeaky toy, and then he's surrounded by a ladybug and a bunny, and that's about it. When he's not even in the forest, his ball just gets lost in like a carrot patch or something in the backyard, in the fenced backyard where he was. So it's actually kind of a hilarious backstory, and what hurt him was not even an animal. He backed up into a bug zapper, and that's why he doesn't like wild animals. That's actually kind of entertaining. And thinking about it, I guess that kind of works for Open Season 3, because since he actually does not have beef with, I guess, spoilers for Open Season 3, but whatever. I think it actually kind of works because since he doesn't actually have beef with wild animals, he's allowed to be in the movie. So he actually doesn't have a reason to hate wild animals. Not a sane reason to hate wild animals. So, but speaking about this movie, Fifi, I think he actually stands out as a pretty good villain. Another positive is the Pet Paradiso, Pet Water Park is actually pretty creative. It's a swimming area. I kind of like that. So I mean, like, you got water slides, you got things that shoot out frisbees for dogs to catch, and dogs can get massages, so that's pretty cool. And the final positive on the movie is this movie, rewatching it this time, I actually see it actually ends where everything gets kind of tied together from the first one. And it kind of... So if this was like the last one, I think it actually would have worked as like a finale. And Open Season 1 and 2 would have worked as like a 1-2 punch. Would have worked as like a pretty good double feature. So it ends where everything gets tied together from the first one. Elliot marries Giselle, and Mr. Weenie reunites with his owners, and I think in this one he actually likes his owners, if I'm not mistaken. And his owners get to find Mr. Weenie, so I think it actually kind of works out pretty well. That's it for positives. Onto the negatives. The first negative is I find it kind of childish that Elliot second thinks marrying Giselle. And it's not even a sane reason. Like I get that could be a real thing of like second thinking yourself of like marrying someone. I get that, but Elliot's reason of like he was worried about, like, he was totally fine marrying her forever, but then like Boog says, yeah, you're gonna marry her forever and ever, and like ooh, nobody said about an and ever. which I thought that was actually kind of a like a weak. I thought that was kind of weak. um, and then he tries to save Mr. Weenie, so I don't think it was a very good motivation for Elliot to get scared of marrying, because I think they could have done a little bit more with that. I think it actually could have been a very good twist, even though we're talking about open season. It's not that complex of a story, but I think it actually would have been a good twist if Elliot really actually devised a plan of kidnapping Mr. Weenie just so he could not marry Giselle, because in the movie he genuinely believes that Mr. Weenie was kidnapped. So I mean, I think if Elliot got cold feet and actually had a good reason of why he was scared to get married, if he devised this plan, like he led Mr. Weenie back to his parents or back to his owners, and then he was like, oh, we gotta get Mr. Weenie, and he kept foiling them from getting Mr. Weenie, I think that actually would have been a fairly good twist in the movie. But no, he genuinely thinks Mr. Weenie is kidnapped, so that was kind of ridiculous. Another negative, a small negative, was like the ducks were flying in the movie, when in the first one they said like one of them, Lenny, got PTSD from the Great Migration when his friends were shot down during open season, so it doesn't make sense that they were flying in this one. I wish they kind of said, kind of set that up of oh, they're not scared to fly anymore, so that was kind of frustrating. Another negative is the animation. I think it looks pretty cheap. It really doesn't look as good as the first one. And the last negative is this movie has absolutely nothing to do with the open season, the title of the franchise. There are no hunters at all, so that was pretty disappointing. But in the end, I have a fun time with this one. I think this is actually fairly entertaining. I have a good enough time with it. Is it great? No, but I think it's fairly entertaining. So Open Season 2, I actually kind of enjoy. Thanks for watching.